everyone, this is GTFreeFlyer showing off a new feature here for carrier movements. So I've gone ahead and already set up a carrier and support ship and just gave them very basic 2 waypoints to go to. And I threw some Corsairs on this SX carrier that will automatically launch. Here's a quick look at the triggers. I'm loading Mist over here, and then just activating group 1 of Corsairs, activating group 2 of Corsairs, and I deactivate them after they land. So let's look what happens right here. Okay, I'm just going to go straight into the map and time forward here to 20x speed. Here come the Corsairs. And they launch. Carrier is moving right along. You can see right here the carrier is moving at 5 knots. I didn't give it much speed, and that's really not enough speed for takeoff, but it works for those AI units. Carrier just continues doing what it's doing. We're all used to this. So going back to the editor, so the problem usually is that on long multiplayer missions, you have to put a carrier going into the wind at all times. Otherwise, it turns downwind, and then when players come and recover, you just don't have the right wind over deck, and it's just a big mess to set up a carrier for long multiplayer missions because you want to keep it confined to an area, but you have to deal with wind. You can always make the carrier slow, like it is here, 5 knots, and bump the wind up, but then it gets tricky for if you're operating at a base, you have really high winds and whatnot. Also, you're stuck to static weather. You can't really use the dynamic weather with the cyclones and changing wind directions because you just never know what's going to happen. So here's what I came up with. So triggers. I'm going to clone this load Mist one. I'm going to change this to load a new script. It's called GTFreeFlyer's World War II Recovery. That's all I did. Just load the script. Watch what happens here. Okay, same exact test, F10 map. Fast forward, 20x speed. Actually, right about here, I'm gonna slow it down. Okay, so they spawned in, they were detected. You get this group in the this message in the upper right says, carrier group is turning into the wind, expect final BRC 052, altimeter 29902. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward the time again. So the carrier automatically detected aircraft of its same coalition in its airspace, turns into the wind. There go the aircraft. Keep our eyes on the carrier here. Once the aircraft are out of the airspace, by default it is 10-mile radius and 2,500 feet. Then the carrier resumes back to where it was going. So here it is. You can see it has now slowed back down to 4 knots. I did forget to show you, but it's sped up to about 15 knots because I have about 8 knots of wind coming in from the northeast. All right, so where's the aircraft? There they are. Let's see if I can push it 30x, 40x speed. I'm gonna break my computer here. Okay, let's slow it back down to 20. They're coming back in. When they're within 10 miles and under 2,500 feet, the carrier will automatically respond here. There it is. Detected aircraft. Turning into the wind. Here come the aircraft. Again, I'll click on here. See, now you can see it's going 15 knots. And it comes in. And they land, and it does it again and again. But just for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you what else we can do. So again, I'm just showing you here the waypoints for the carrier are 5 knots for all of the waypoints. So it automatically speeds up and overrides whatever waypoints you have set in order to recover those aircraft or launch them. Now, that's not all. Here we go. Let's get another ship group. Let's put it here for right now. Let's add, I don't know, 6 ships sounds good. I'm going to put it up here. Let me just arrange these ships out like a fleet. Okay, so now we have a whole fleet of support ships around the aircraft carrier. I'm not going to worry about setting the unit type. They're all SX right now, so that's kind of, that actually won't work. I want to make them things that are not aircraft carriers. Bear with me 1 second. Get a submarine in there. And what was this guy up here? Okay, now we have the aircraft carrier in the center, a fleet around them. You saw all I did was add a ship group. Let me give this fleet its own set of waypoints. We'll go here, 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 etc. It doesn't matter. I don't need to close the loop for this test. And then just to demonstrate something, this is the aircraft carrier in the center. That's its waypoints. Just going to demonstrate something here real quick. So if I were to do this, right, something crazy, right? Little zigzag pattern, doesn't matter. I'm going to save this. Going to fly the mission. Here we go. Again, nothing crazy to do with waypoints or waypoint tricks in order to get it to go into the wind. So what has happened here is the script has automatically detected another fleet within 5 miles of a carrier. So what it's done is it has taken the waypoints from the carrier and just deleted them and copied the fleet's waypoints into the carrier. So now the carrier is part of the fleet. The carrier will always follow the fleet. I'm going to speed it up here. Okay, there's that guy's detected the aircraft in here. Launches, as you saw before, into the wind. But this time around, so that zigzag pattern that I did with the carrier, I just did that to show you that carrier will not follow that zigzag pattern. It's actually going to stay with the fleet. So what happens when you add the fleet is the carrier will not resume course back to the last waypoint it was going to, like before, but because a fleet is present, it now goes back to its original fleet position. So when the script loaded at start, it also copied the position of your carrier group relative to the fleet group, and it will go ahead and maintain that. So here the carrier goes back to its fleet position. You can see it's slowing back down. It's at 13 knots now. As it comes in, it's making its way back to here. The Corsairs are coming back. Looks like he's just about back in the center of the fleet. Again, wind is from the northeast. Okay, they've been detected. You can see them off to the northeast again here. 15 knots. That gets us up to 26 knots wind over deck. And after they despawn and are out of the airspace, it's done this way just in case, you never know if you're going to relaunch from the carrier, so they have to be completely out. There you go. 1 minute after they have departed the airspace or despawned in our situation here, carrier will go back to fleet position. All right, and of course that's not all. I won't demonstrate the next one right now, but the script is also does what Bankler's mission does for modern carriers, and it grades your landings. So if you come in to the carrier, your landing will be graded automatically. And once again, just to prove it, everything, no waypoints tricks for the wind. You can do whatever you want for the carrier if you have another fleet. Just give it at least one waypoint to have something for the mission editor to deal with. And that's it. This will be coming very soon. I'm doing this right now in collaboration with Virtual Carrier Task Force 58, or VCTF 58. A wonderful group for Corsair and World War II. Anything Pacific, really. Once we get the Hellcat, we're going to have lots of fun in there. Check them out, Virtual Carrier Task Force 58. If you want to follow when I will be publishing this publicly, you can check out my Discord. It is GT's Runway. My username is GTFreeFlyer on Discord, forums, anywhere you can find me with that username. Cheers.